Hey beautiful biscuits, welcome back to the channel. Are you in full Halloween spirit? I was filming some things for Patreon, so I thought I'm gonna pop in and say hi to and do some more story times. Oh yeah. So I thought I would do a little self-care story time. Oh, taking care of ourselves, is that even doable? Is the world too busy? Are our schedules so chaotic that we have no time to take care of ourselves? Oh no, we do. So our big overarching topic on Patreon is self-care. That's what I love to talk about on there. That's what I love to have personal emails with you on there. Our flashcards and our little animations and our long format vlogs. Self-care, it's the bomb diggity. It is the homemaker's guide to happiness and contentment and just an unbridled, joyful life. And I think that's what self-care allows us, is to have that joy, that unbridled beauty of the magic and the mundane. So I think this week you can set yourself a goal. It's an easy goal. It's a nice, simple, happy goal of really focusing on your self-care. And I want to be careful how I say that. Self-care doesn't just have to be to take a bubble bath every night. That's your self-care, and then you're going to feel amazing. I want you to look at it more as a mental step. How do you take care of your mind this week? And I think the first way you do that is you become conscious of the thoughts you are thinking, which is crazy, right? You're like, oh, I know the thoughts I'm thinking. But are you really being an active participant in that internal monologue you give yourself every day? Are you really understanding what you're telling yourself? Are you constantly naysaying your own abilities? Are you shrinking yourself down mentally and emotionally because it's just easier to get through your week that way? Or have you just shut off and you just aren't paying attention to that inner voice? So give yourself some time every day this week. I want you to do it first thing when you wake up, and I want you to do it at lunchtime. Because by the time you get to bed, you may be exhausted, right? Like if you've had a long day. So first thing when you wake up, and then at lunchtime, whenever that may be for you, I want you to stop and really think about, and morning time, what were your thoughts first waking up, and what did you tell yourself in your interior monologue, that little voice that critiques you throughout the day before? What were your thoughts going to bed that night as you wake up? And then at lunchtime, I want you to see, what have you been telling yourself? How have you been narrating your own personal story up through the morning to lunchtime? And I bet you're going to be fascinated by what you discover, because you're opening up this window to possibilities of how you look at the world actually affecting, actually impacting what your real day-to-day activities are, right? Because when we're telling ourselves we can't do something, we shouldn't do something, that we aren't good or we aren't deserving, that kind of becomes what we're bringing into our life, right? Instead of realizing, oh my goodness, we are incredible creatures, that homemaking can be this amazing experience. It can be beautiful and loving and comforting and erotic and playful and joyful, and it could be all these things melded in together like a delicious Halloween chocolate. And it doesn't have to be a one-dimensional existence, right? There's so much more to being a homemaker. So let's start. That's our little self-care homework. If you want to pop on a Patreon, you can come on and tell me how that's going for you this week. You can join at just the $10 a month stage, which is a great kind of intro to come say hi. You get to be part of a lot of our quiz nights and our Q&As, our AMAs, some of our animated flashcards and our photos on there. So just come on and say hi and see how your self-care journey is expanding. You know, how can you find the playful? I mean, that's so much of why my Patreon page is burlesque related, is that it's such a fun way to express our self-care is in a playful form. You know, it doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be really dramatic. It can just be wonderful little shifts in our life that gives us joy. Okay, biscuits. I'm going to see you in the next one, but I'm glad I popped on because I wanted to say hi.